Hey everybody, it's Sharmel. Welcome back to Locs Lifestyle. So today's video is going to be the final video in this lock extension installation series. So if you are not caught up on all of my lock extension videos, then I will have them all linked down in the description box. But in the last video, I showed you guys how to install them. So in this one, I'm going to be coloring and retwisting them. And I'm going to show you guys how I go from this to this. So if you are interested in seeing this process, then make sure you continue to watch.
The sun shines on all of my glory. My flaws don't look so bad at all. What was I so afraid of?
So if you would like more details about these lock extensions, then make sure you watch the installation video because I go into detail about where I purchased them, price, initial thoughts, and all of that. But I did order some lock extensions in the color number 4 and then the color number 27. And I wanted this 27 to blend a little better with my hair. So I started off by testing out a couple of hair dyes that I had in my house. So I have this Adore in honey brown, so I'm testing that on one lock to see how I like that. And then I also have this Adore in cinnamon, and I'm just right here just comparing and contrasting the two colors to see which one I like best. My hair is kind of like a medley of browns, and I just wanted everything to be a little more cohesive. Like, I like having the highlights and lowlights, but I just wanted it to blend and transition smoother. So yes, I'm just testing to see which color I like best. Honestly, neither one of them really matched the number 4 lock extensions. The cinnamon was a little more on the redder side, and I couldn't choose which one I like best, so I ended up just mixing both of them. And these are two colors I've used on my natural locks in the past as well. So I'm just going to mix both of those colors together, and I'm basically going to ombre those blonde lock extensions so that they transition from my darker locks to the highlighted blonde locks a little better. So that's what I'm doing here. And really take your time and make sure you're like really squeezing the color into the locks. These locks are dense, and you just want to make sure that the color completely takes. So I was using the applicator brush at first, but it just wasn't working good enough for me. So I'm just using my hands and I'm just really squeezing this product into the locks. So I let those sit for about 30 to 45 minutes, and then I shampooed and conditioned them, and this is how they look after being shampooed and conditioned. And here is how they look in comparison to the number 4. So initially my goal was to get the ombre to match the number 4 as close as possible. As you guys can see, it's still significantly lighter, but I am going to show you guys how I make it all work. This is the morning after I installed the lock extensions, and he want to be in my video so bad. But you guys can see how much my roots have grown out. And again, the goal is to just get my locks and the lock extensions to be a consistent brown color. So I'm starting by taking some Vaseline, and I'm just going to apply this to my hairline and perimeter of my head just to make sure my skin is protected before I start applying these products. So to touch up my roots and natural locks, I'm going to be using this L'Oreal High Color in Soft Brown, and I'm going to be mixing it with 30 Volume Developer. So the front of my head is lighter than the back, and again, I want them all to be the same color. So here's a lock, for example. You can see how like dark those roots are and like the middle of my lock is. So I'm just going to go in with that L'Oreal High Color, and I'm just going to start by applying it like to the main part of my natural locks. I'm not applying it to the roots yet because I want to make sure that all of this gets lifted some before I go to my roots. So as you guys can see here, I'm literally just applying it to like the middle of my lock. If you guys have been following my lock journey, then you guys know that I've been red and brown and black. And the last time I went red, it was a very like impulsive decision. And when I applied it, I just did not apply it very well. And when I removed the red, you could really see how inconsistent the colors were. So yeah, I'm starting now, just trying to get my hair to just something consistent. It doesn't have to be perfect, but I do just want it to be more consistent. And so here is what we have so far. I went ahead and just kind of applied it to all of the dark areas in my locks. And now I'm gonna go back and do my roots. So I started from the back again, and I'm going in with that same product. I bought 2 boxes, by the way, for this process. So now I'm just going back into my mixture, and I'm going to get my roots and make sure that my roots get lifted as well. And then when I get to my hairline, I try not to get it like all the way at my roots, because I do not like when my baby hairs are brown and they're very similar to my like natural skin tone, because then I can't see them and I feel like it makes my edges look thin. So you'll still see some black along my hairline, just for preference, because I like for my baby hairs to still be dark. And now I'm just going back in and seeing any areas that I missed, and going back in with that product just to make sure all of my roots get hit. And then I'm just going to massage all that product in and just kind of start blending it down to the lock extensions, just so again it's just a nice transition. And I let this sit on my head for about 35 minutes. And then this is how it looks after my hair has been sitting. I also put it in a cap, by the way, too. So you could definitely see like my roots have changed. I still couldn't really see that much of a difference like on my natural locks in the dark areas. It definitely lifted a little bit, but it was still kind of dark in my opinion. But we gonna roll with it. So now, after this, I'm going to rinse it, shampoo, and condition. And so here I am with conditioner in my head, and I was just inspecting it, and I still wasn't all the way satisfied with the color. So I'm going to go back in with those 2 Adore colors, honey brown and cinnamon, that I used on the lock extensions. And I'm just going to apply that from my roots down to the lock extensions. So I didn't color like the full lock extensions, but I did blend it on the lock extensions some, again, to have just a smoother transition, more cohesion with the color. You can still see some areas that are kind of patchy, but the Adore colors definitely gave me that consistency that I was looking for. And I actually ended up doing this process twice. So here I am the first time applying it. Like I said, I had conditioner and stuff in my head, and I actually was kind of rushing at this point because I had some business that I had to go take care of. So I applied it, and then I rinsed it, and then I didn't even have time to like dry my hair. So I had wrapped my hair up in like a head wrap, went to handle my business, came back home, and I was looking at my hair and I still wasn't all the way satisfied. So I went back in with the honey brown and the cinnamon one more time and just went over my locks with that. And the second time I applied it, I think it really gave me what I needed. But yeah, most likely I will maintain this color by just using the honey brown and cinnamon on my locks, because I do just like that color combination. And then when it's time to touch up my roots again, I'll probably use the soft brown, the L'Oreal High Color Soft Brown, because I did think it lifted my roots pretty well. So here we are a little later in the day, and I finally got my hair to a color that I was happy with. You can't see like the true color of my hair in this lighting, but it does look so much more consistent color wise. So now I'm going to move on to retwisting. I'm going to be using some of my usual retwisting products. So I have this Loc'd Up product that I'm going to use, as well as just some castor oil. Aside from lock extensions, you guys, I haven't had a retwist in about 3-ish months, so I was well overdue for a retwist. And honestly, although I have lock extensions, retwisting my hair was pretty much the same process. My hair did kind of dry down a little bit, so I was kind of misting my roots with some water, but I applied oil, and then I'm going to go in with the Loc'd Up butter and just retwist my roots like usual. I was worried that retwisting would be a little more difficult, or would just be different since I was working with longer hair now, but honestly, it was the exact same process. I feel like it took me a little longer only because I was just tired and worn out from doing my hair for multiple days at a time. But the actual process, if you know how to retwist your locks, retwisting your locks with lock extensions is literally the same process. I'm not gonna lie, I was being a little heavy-handed with this product, only because, like I said, you guys, I hadn't had a retwist since December and it's March, and I just felt like my hair just needed it. Like, my roots were out of control and I just felt like I had so many frizzies and flyaways, and it was just a lot going on. So I am being a little heavy-handed with this product just to make sure like my hair was retwisted good, and I just wanted this to look good overall since I was fresh with these lock extensions. So yeah, I'm just retwisting my hair. If you've seen any of my retwisting videos, pretty much the exact same process. And for my edges, I am using my Style Factor Edge Booster to lay those, because I know I always get questions about what edge control I use. Style Factor Edge Booster. And here is my hair after everything has been retwisted. I don't even think relief is the word to describe how relieved I was. This was such a process, but it was so well worth it. And then just to finish off, I'm gonna take some wrapping paper and tie down this top part of my head, and then I'm going to sit under the dryer. So drying is like my least favorite part of retwisting. I hate drying, and now that I have these lock extensions, I hate it even more just because it took forever to dry. And I knew this was gonna happen. I knew it was gonna take longer. But yeah, I still hate it. So yeah, I'm just sitting under the dryer. I can't even tell y'all how long it took because I was taking some breaks because I couldn't do it. Eventually, I ended up using like my blow drying cap, and I finished it off with that. And yeah, I kept having to put my locks up under the dryer just to make sure all of it was getting dry. And this is just a byproduct of having longer locks. I knew it, again, this was gonna happen, but yeah, drying was like the most annoying part. But the finished results, you guys, were everything. I absolutely love my hair. If you have not seen the lock install video, I definitely recommend checking that video out because I go into more details about the lock extensions in my hair and everything like that. But I love my hair, you guys. I love the color. I feel like this indoor lighting does not do this color justice. You can definitely see like more of the brown like in the sunlight. My cousin told me it looked more gingery to her. If I can get a clip of me in the natural sunlight, I'll try to insert it. But yeah, I feel like the indoor lighting just doesn't do this color justice. But overall, you guys, I love my hair. I love the color. I love how it looks on my skin tone. And yeah. Thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Follow me on Instagram, Snatched by Sharmel. And I will see you beautiful people in my next video. Bye.